Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jamie Gardner here. Today I'm going to be talking about why it's so important for you to have a nurturing process for your business. And this is going to be relevant if you are a coach, if you're an affiliate marketer, or have any form of online business at all. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can do that in order to acquire more clients and start to systemize the acquisition process for your clientele. Now, before I get into that, though, if this is the first time here, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to you. As I say, my name is Jamie Gardner. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer, also a coach. We've got over 700 students and been very fortunate. And this channel is really about me just documenting my journey online. I've been in affiliate marketing since 2011 and hopefully providing a bit of value out there as well. So if that's of interest, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Drop any comments along the way. I'm always keen to put out new content, and the more feedback I can get as to what you guys need, the more I can help you out in your business, right? So why have I got these, was it 1, 2, 3, 6 envelopes on my screen? Well, the reality is that back in the day, the nurturing process used to be done via email, and it still is for many, many businesses. In fact, one of the true assets that you ever actually own in affiliate marketing or in online business in general is actually your email list, right? You can actually take it to another provider, another autoresponder. It is actually yours, right? And that is the relationship that you build with your subscribers over sometimes a very long period of time. Not always. Sometimes it can be very rapid to build that relationship with your readers, of course. However, since the advent of social media and I guess the inherent nature of it, how distracting this world can be, it's meant that over time, the efficacy of email marketing has declined to some degree. But I would still posture that email marketing is very much alive and kicking to this day. In fact, I have a very tiny email list. It's around about 900 subscribers at the moment. And that makes up around about 40% of my monthly revenue, which hovers between sort of $20,000 and $40,000 per month at the moment. So anyway, it does still work. It's still phenomenal, but there's a couple of key elements that you probably need to take note of in order to make it work in your business. And like I say, I'm really just going to go through a couple of techniques that you can do and basically explain why you need some sort of nurturing process in your business. And basically wanted to put this video out. Those of you that are listening in the podcast, I wanted to put this out there because I think that it can be quite confusing when you're getting started in the early stages of your journey to work out, okay, why am I actually doing all this stuff? Like, yeah, I get told I need to build my list and all that type of stuff, but why am I doing it? Like, what features or what things do I need to be showing or displaying or actually adding into my email sequences? Or, if you're doing it via social media, you can actually do the exact same thing via, say, a Facebook group, which is what I specialize in. And just really wanted to put this out there. So anyway, like I say, very, very simple business model. You've got, and for those of you that are listening, I'm drawing a very awkward looking line on my screen as denoting a landing page. So basically you've got your traffic sources on one side. So you're going to put T for traffic. And it could be obviously Facebook. You got things like YouTube. You got, you name it, TikTok. You got Snapchat. You got Instagram, Pinterest, web blogs, all that type of stuff, right? Podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. And so what I encourage people to do is send them all to one place, right? And so for me, anyone that's interested in joining my group as well, by the way, head over to ultimateaffiliategroup.com. There's a link below that you can click as well. So, and the reason for that is because I'm sending all my traffic to one place. And the reason for that is because that allows me to start building that relationship in the email sequence, right? They start to get to know a little bit about me, what I've achieved, some of the results I've had for my students, why they should follow me, and I guess give them reasons for my credibility, all that type of stuff as well. But if you're not at that point where you're wanting to add technology in at this stage of your journey, that's absolutely fine. In fact, a lot of my students actually have a ton of success through nothing other than quite literally just their Facebook profile. Okay, that's actually what I specialize in, is Facebook organic marketing. Facebook is huge, right? It's an incredible place to find leads and actually build an incredible business without the use of technology. In fact, you don't really need anything to get started. In fact, when I first started doing Facebook organic marketing, I literally just had my Facebook profile, and all I was doing is had my profile, had my group, and I was just trying to go between those. But I had no systemized process until I started understanding some of the principles I'm talking about here, right? So I'm just going to show you how you can actually make that work in your business as well. So if you're not wanting to add technology on, and like I say, this is going to be relevant if you are an affiliate marketer or a coach or course creator, anything like that. exact same principles are going to apply, right? So, I seem to have lost my drawing tools here. Can't think how this blooming thing works. What do we got there? Ah, yeah, there we go. Right. So, the way that you can replicate a nurturing sequence that you normally have in email and make it turbocharged is by having, feeding your email list back to a certain place. And so for me, that is my Facebook group. And so the reason why Facebook groups are so incredibly powerful, you think of Facebook groups being kind of like your vessel, right? And what it does is between your email list, if that's what you're going to build, and you certainly do not have to. In fact, this works very well. I have many students that don't have an email list and make many, many thousands of dollars per month without any email list whatsoever, right? So what it basically means is, and this is FBG for Facebook group. And so I've got my profile over here, and I've got things like stories and reels have become a thing in recent times. And what else have you got? You got, I guess, other groups. So you got groups and getting, notoriety in other groups, right? So the whole idea is that if you're sending them back to your Facebook group from your profile, from the reels, from your stories, from other people's groups, not going and poaching leads, things like that. I mean, like literally just being part of those groups so people sort of follow the paper trail. They'll end up, if you're commenting in different groups, people basically start to work out who you are. They'll come and basically find you pretty much and snoop your profile and often just end up in your group organically that way as well. Right. And so what that means is now you've got this vessel and you're effectively doing the exact same thing as historically you would have through email marketing, right? You're able to nurture the leads and explain a little bit about who you are and display credibility and show results for your students, all that type of stuff. And if you're in the early stages, you don't have any of that stuff, absolutely fine. All I do is just really focus on documenting what you're learning as you go through this pathway, right? And I guarantee that if you're part of a high-ticket affiliate program, there's a high probability that you're going to be learning a bunch of stuff along the way. So all you need to do is just start documenting some of the stuff that you're learning. Today, I learned that you can get started in online business without the use of a funnel. Today, I learned that you don't actually need to build your list. That is, a doctrine that's been around for many years, but I just learned that today, right? So now you're starting to pick up these little things. You can start to talk about that in your own language, in your own way, and start documenting that and applying that to your own audience. And what happens over time is you start to build a bit of rapport with your audience. You start to build a bit of credibility with your audience as well. And so therefore, in doing so, it's going to facilitate the ease of being able to acquire clients as well, right? So anyway, what happens is when people enter your community, basically there's an opportunity for you to ask questions. You can ask 3 questions, kind of like a genie, rub the magic lamp. You get 3 wishes, but you get 3 questions, right? So those 3 questions are very, very powerful, and I've played around with a whole bunch of them in the past. And what I've found is that asking people what they'd like to learn is probably the most powerful thing that you can do, because what tends to happen is, especially if it's niche related. So, for example, if you're a dating coach, for example, and say you've even got a sub niche within that, so it's dating coach for single middle-aged men, for argument's sake, and it might be like, what's the number one thing you'd like to learn from this community? And they might say something to the effect of, well, just had a divorce and it was really nasty, and I just, I'm not super confident in going out and dating again. So therefore, now you know what their inherent pain points are, or part thereof, right? And so after you get more and more people entering your community, you're going to start to get a stockpile of these things that people are telling you. And again, if you're an affiliate marketer, what's the number one thing you'd like to learn? People are going to tell you, I want to learn how to get high ticket buyer leads. Cool. Well, you're in the right place. So I can show you how to get those. It's not that hard, right? And so therefore you can start producing content. And I'm going to butcher this, but then you start putting out content, which is going to, guess what? Relate to what people want, right? So now that they're in your group, they're in your world, they're in your vessel, your container, whatever you want to call it, they can start sending people, tagging them into your content. It's like, hey, thanks so much for entering my community. I've just tagged you in a post I put out a little while ago that addresses that concern, right? And so therefore, because you're starting to get a back catalogue of all these pain points, you start to put out content which resonates with, guess what, their subconscious. Now, what this means is that in a very short space of time, you're effectively elevated your authority in their eyes. You have addressed some of their pain points, you actually help them out with some of the content, right? And so what that means is that without needing a whole bunch of credibility, without needing a whole bunch of authority, which certainly helps if you do have that, by the way, but if you don't, then it's fine. You've actually addressed the pain points that they have told you in advance that they have, right? Super, super powerful stuff. And so this is how you can replicate that. And then what happens is after a while, you can start adding other layers to your business. So you can add your funnels, you can add your websites, you can add your podcast, you can add your TikTok, all these other traffic sources, all that type of stuff. You start to nurture through email. You can start to send people back to your group, to this content that you've been putting out, right? Super, super, super powerful. Now, when you're able to do that, it's not that long after that, because you've addressed some of the pain points, because you've helped people out, because you've shown that you can help them out and displayed that in advance, that you will start making sales. And the key ingredient with all this stuff is twofold. Number one, it is following up with people, making sure that as they enter your group, you communicate with them. Thanks for being there. Really appreciate it. What are you hoping to learn? Great. Saw your answers when you arrived in, blah, blah, blah. And so then once you've done that, once you're able to follow up with these people, nurture these relationships, ask the question, hey, what are you stuck on? I have a whole bunch of solutions I can help you out with, ranging in price from 50 grand right down to zero, whatever it is, right? Where are you stuck? What are you looking for? How can I help you out? And simply by asking these questions, sometimes people are just going to go, yep, I'm ready to roll right now, right? Now, the reason why this is so powerful is because you're going to get the people that are in a state of awareness where they're wanting to transact immediately. They are what we call in copywriting have a bleeding neck problem. That is that, needs to be solved yesterday type stuff. And so those folks are wanting to get that solution like immediately, right? And so therefore it means that your ability to add customers and create customers in a very, very rapid space of time is incredible. And that's why having some sort of nurturing process doesn't even need to be a Facebook group as well, by the way. Like, you can do the exact same thing via email. You can do the exact same thing with, I guess, like a Discord community or channel, whatever you call them. So obviously I don't use Discord that much, but there you go. You can have things like a Slack channel. You can have other online communities that are out there that do the exact same thing, right? And so this is incredible. Like, and if you understand this principle about being able to get in front of people, start to really nurture the relationships there, eventually, you're going to get a whole bunch of dickheads that just do not like you. That's just part of life. So, better get used to it now. You're going to have a whole bunch of people that really resonate with you, and they think you are the bomb diggity, or whatever you crazy kids are using these days in terms of your language. And over and above that, you're going to get a whole bunch of people that go, okay, this person can help me get my problem solved, right? And so, like I say, this is applicable to affiliate marketing, which is obviously what I'm involved in, but it is also applicable for coaches, course creators, whatever it is that you've got that provides a solution for folks. So this is why I highly encourage you to start a Facebook group if you do not have one, or start a community of some kind. Because if you've got a community, if you've got something that is able to nurture these relationships with these folks, humanizes them, so they're not just another number entering your world, then you'll do pretty damn well. Right. So I hope this helps a couple of you out. I really just wanted to put this out there and sort of encourage you to go out there and build a community of some kind. And so, I use Facebook groups. I know a lot of people aren't super fans of Facebook, but to get creative with this stuff, think about how you can take this principle and do it somewhere else. And if you don't want to be out in public, that's completely fine. There's a lot of people that are probably doing this exact same thing via email. With email, if you're going to do it that way, you have to contend with lower open rates, and I guess everyone's inbox is absolutely chock-a-block full of emails these days. I know I get hundreds every single day. But if you're going to do it just via email and you don't want to put yourself out there and you just want to write stuff, that's fine. But you've got to think, how can you nurture the relationships with these folks, right? And so they're not going to open every email as well. Like, interestingly enough, my second email gets better open rates than my first email in my nurturing sequence, for one of my funnels at least anyway, which is really weird to think about. I cannot understand it, but anyway, there you go. So all it means is that you need to work out, okay, how can you boost your credibility via email? How can you boost your authority? What can you display that actually gets people to want to open your emails? why would they keep coming back over and over and over again? So for me, I have all sorts of incentives. So if you are interested in joining my group and my email list, by the way, there's a link below, or head over to ultimateaffiliategroup.com. That's ultimateaffiliategroup.com. And with that, I actually give cash prizes for people opening my emails. So therefore, my open rates are usually pretty good. And so what that means is that over time, I'm getting literally like giving away cash just for opening emails, but then it also incentivizes people to open them. And that opening helps with deliverability. That deliverability helps with getting customers, right? So you can still apply these same techniques and you can treat that as your vessel. But like I say, I would highly encourage you to have a group, because with a group, you actually got this dual process going on. This is what I teach in my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, which is my coaching. Like I say, we've had a bunch of success with teaching this technique to students from all walks of life and all parts of their business as well. So on that note, folks, hopefully you got something out of this. Just wanted to put this together so you understand why it's so unbelievably important to have some sort of mechanism in order to make sure that you're nurturing your leads as they come through, adding value, results in advance, as Frank Kern puts it. And also the last key element of this is just making offers. So make sure that you're constantly inviting people to be part of your opportunity, especially if you strongly believe that that opportunity can solve their pain points, right? Don't just do it because you want a buck, right? Make sure that it is the solution that's going to help them out. And if you do all that, you will have a very good career online. Anyway, my name's Jamie Gardner. Really appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know what your thoughts are on this, and stay tuned. Look forward to catching up with you guys in the next one. Thanks.